What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to TV and Me. I'm of course Kevin, and it's time again for the Walking Dead weekend.
You still a priest?
Rick and Carl taught me about guns, other weapons, how to contribute. I'm still a priest.
I lied to my girlfriend this morning. She got me thinking about something, so I told her that I loved her. For the first time. That's how I told her, covering something up.
What were you covering?
That I'd done something like this before. That I didn't like it.
Do you love her?
Yeah.
So you know what you're fighting for?
Honey pie.
He's gonna wake up everyone else. Yeah.
You're in trouble. Stay here. I'm going with you. I said stay here. No. Damn it, Maggie! I have to. No, you don't. You don't have to. Yes, I do. What the hell are you doing here? What am I supposed to do? You're supposed to be someone else. We need our help.
Can we have this conversation later, please?
You are staying here.
Look, if they see you and we don't make it...
We're gonna make it, and they're not gonna see me.
Oh shit. Behind you.
It wasn't us. It was gonna be you.
Weapons. Or if Heath didn't want to kill, I think he might have just done then.
This is the next world.
Drop it.
You don't kill me, Padre.
Let not your heart be troubled.
You're just as dead as me.
In my father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you.
You're all dead.
I go prepare a place for you.
Blood's coming.
It's going all Pulp Fiction. He went Pulp Fiction.
Amen.
Holy shit.
When I was a child, I'd sit for hours staring into open flame. Don't you ever tame your demon, but always keep them on a leash.
Just wondering which one of them was naked.
None of them.
Son of a bitch!
you get the butt?
Oh, fuck.
Like you did everyone else, right?
Lower your gun, prick. All of you lower your weapons right now.
Go on out. Let's talk.
We're not coming out, but we will talk. We've got a Carol and a Maggie. I'm thinking that's something you want to chat about.
So there we have it, episode 12, which actually turned out to be the formulation and the execution of the plan against the Saviours. And we should probably underline that word, execution, because whichever way you cut it, Rick and Glenn, they executed people in this episode. People who were asleep. People who were unable to defend themselves. Now, we can take from the situation and the photos on the wall and the fact, you know, they had to bring a head to them and they've extorted the people of the hilltop, that these weren't good people. But was it the right thing to do? I mean, there's two trains of thought. You could be on Morgan's side, where you think all life is precious, where there's life, there's hope, you know, and what they did was wrong. Or you could be on Rick's side of the fence and say, you know, this is a preventative measure. These people are not good. They go out into the world and just cause harm and misery. So they deserved what they get. Asleep or alive, it doesn't matter how you kill them. It doesn't matter that they weren't able to defend themselves. And I've got to admit, this is where my bias slips in. I'm of the firm belief that Rick and the group did the right thing. Now, I know there's arguments against what they did, but I feel like they're trying to help out another settlement who are being tormented by these people. Like I say, we saw the photos on the wall of people with their heads caved in. Why would they have photos of people with their heads caved in unless these people were sick individuals? The fact they wanted their head brought to them proves they are sick individuals. And I do honestly feel, with enough time, that this group of saviours probably would have stumbled across Alexandria and caused more misery to the people of Alexandria. So it was a preventative measure. But I fully understand those other people on the other side of the fence that say all life is precious. Maybe they shouldn't have gone in. Maybe they should have tried to capture them. But I feel like if they'd tried to do that, then more lives on Rick's side would have been lost. And I honestly don't think any of those men's lives, all those men's lives, are worth one of Team Fam's lives. Because we know Team Fam are good people, despite the things they do. I have to say as well, testament to how good the people on Team Fam are, despite, you know, these atrocities they have to commit in order to protect themselves, was brought to light when Glenn took that kill away from Heath. They both did not want to do it. They both didn't want to carry that burden. But Glenn did his and saw Heath was about to do his. And in that moment, Glenn decided, even though it would cause him more torment in himself, he could save another person from having to suffer through that. So what did he do? He pushed Heath away and he killed that man, taking it away from Heath, taking away that guilt from Heath. And even though Heath had to kill people later on when they were trapped in that cupboard, you know, and they shot through the walls, because no doubt Heath shot some of those people too, he was defending himself in that situation. Those people were awake. It wasn't an execution situation. They were attacking them, so Heath had every right to defend himself and shoot them back. So I feel like Glenn did a massive favour to Heath and saved his conscience and saved Heath's sanity, because no doubt we have seen from Glenn that he has gone out of his way to not kill people. Proof and point with Nicholas. He could have, but he didn't. He chose not to. And in this one night, he executed 2 people and shot another, 3, 4, 5 other people. And no doubt this is going to be a big turning point for Glenn. On top of all that guilt Glenn must feel from that, he's now got to deal with the situation with Maggie and Carol being taken hostage. They are surrounded, but I'm confused as to whether, I'm guessing it must be because the guy had the radio on the motorbike and he was obviously communicating with the people on the outside. I'm guessing they are surrounded by other saviours. And if that is the case, that means that Sherry and Dwight must be saviours too. Because I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was Sherry on the radio. And that was also Daryl's bike. So it's obvious Dwight and Sherry have been at that encampment. Whether or not they were captured and that bike was stolen, that could be a possibility. But I feel like maybe they are to do with the Saviours and they work with the Saviours. Or maybe they've been recruited into the Saviours and that they now work for them. So where does the group go from here? Do they drop their weapons? I mean, are they surrounded? It's obvious that they've got Maggie and Carol captured. So there could only be 1 or 2 people on the outskirts holding them hostage. But if they all drop their weapons, then they're putting themselves at a bigger disadvantage. But then again, if they don't drop their weapons, it's likely they're going to kill either Maggie or Carol. So they're in a situation between a rock and a hard place. There is no right answer. There's just 2 shitty answers, and you've just got to hope for the best outcome. Personally, I feel like they will drop their weapons, because what other option do they have? They don't know how many people are surrounding them. But I just hope that Maggie doesn't get killed. Again, she's carrying a baby. Maybe Carol was right in the fact that Maggie shouldn't have been there. She's got another life she's responsible for, you know. She's carrying a baby, therefore she's got to take that baby into consideration when wanting to go into these situations. I know the Maggie character though. I know she wouldn't want to turn her back on Glenn, make him go into it. I know Maggie is a strong character. She wants to fight alongside Team Fan because she is, you know, one of them. She doesn't want them to go out on their own. They die and then she's left alone because she'd feel like a failure, because that's the sort of human she is. That's the sort of person she is. It's just a shit situation all round, and it's actually got me wondering, because had Carol not held Maggie back, Maggie would have been inside with Rick in a group and she wouldn't have been held hostage. It probably just would have been Carol. Or maybe if Maggie had gone in, Carol would have followed her to help protect her because she never stayed back. So, is Carol to blame in this situation for holding her back? It seems to me, I don't know if I'm picking up on the wrong signals, but it seems to me like Carol is losing the will to fight. You know, in this episode we saw her with Tobin, and maybe that's her choosing a different life, her trying to settle down by getting close to Tobin. She's looking for a way out, you know, a reason not to fight anymore, a reason to settle down and not to kill anymore. She stopped Maggie, of course, like I just talked about. Maybe that's her trying to stop Maggie going down the same path as she did. And we also saw a moment in this episode where Carol was writing in a notepad. Now, I got a brief look at it. I won't see it again until I edit this episode, but it looked like she was writing initials and places. I'm pretty sure I saw Terminus written on there with a number next to it. Now, I think that's her writing down how many people she has killed, and she's keeping tally of that. And if that is the case, again, that must be because it's weighing on her conscience so hard, and she's just, you know, trying to deal with everything that's happened to her. And even though she's a badass and she's able to deal with these situations, well, she has in the past, maybe it's finally weighing down on her. Maybe it's finally come to a conclusion where she's like, I've either got to stop or carry on. And you could even say that that whole situation with the wolf, where she shot the wolf, but she saw the wolf save Denise in his last moment, maybe that's also made her change her mind. And the talks with Morgan, maybe that's finally making a change of mind. Maybe Carol, like I say, has just had enough. She doesn't want to kill anymore. She doesn't want to fight anymore. And, you know, if that is the case, that's all well and good. You know, I feel happy for Carol that she's able to do that. But, again, will that ultimately cost her life because she no longer wants to kill? We've seen it happen to characters in the past, and no doubt we're going to see it happen to characters in the future, and maybe Carol will be a casualty of her conscience. And that was about it. A really good episode. I enjoyed it. It was good seeing the way they went into that building, and, you know, they were almost like a military unit going through together. I mean, they even look like a SWAT group. You see films and documentaries about SWAT and army personnel going through buildings, and it looked like they'd had training. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did have training before this episode doing that sort of thing. But, you know, they were professional. They dealt with the situation, even though, you know, most of them didn't want to, like Glenn killing those people. He didn't want to do it, but he did it because he knew he had to. But I guess we're going to have to see what happens going forward. They're surrounded, I'm guessing, by saviours. And there's going to be some sort of vengeance from this Negan character, I'm guessing, for what Rick and the group has done to his men. Because I'm guessing that's not the entirety of the group. I'm guessing there's more, and I'm guessing there's repercussions for their actions. But we'll have to wait till next episode to find out. But thank you for watching, guys and girls. I really appreciate it. And until next time, bye bye. Thank you for watching this reaction with me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up because it helps me and it helps the channel grow. Also, if you've got any thoughts or feelings about the reaction I just did, leave it in the comment section below. But please, no spoilers. Also, if you'd like to support me even more than you do now, you can find me on Patreon, where you can take part in Patreon polls or even get early access to my videos. Link is in the description. And finally, if you want to keep up to date with the channel, you can find me on Twitter @TVandMeReacts, or you can subscribe.